Project Filo, by artists, for artists in music, visual art, and fashion. Let me start with this. Creative industries are gatekeepers. However, they don't prioritize artists first. Throughout the rest of this presentation, you're going to see a common theme of being by artists and for artists. By artists, for artists. Let that sink in. Let me start with music. In 2019, major record labels made $1 million an hour from streaming platforms, while musicians only see 12% of the money back. Musicians' biggest stars don't own the rights to their own masters, and millions might not even get a shot at a record deal. In visual arts, over 90% of senior execs are white in Hollywood, and over 80% of writers for top films are white. In fashion, there's calls for lack of diversity and access across all levels. There are two gaping problems here that stand out: lack of inclusion and access, but also the gate itself. Project Filo is coming to break down that gate by letting more artists in. So first, let's talk music with co-founder Brandon and also my brother. Brandon is an artist, and he studies business at Rutgers University. He's a staff writer for Lyrical Lemonade, and most importantly, he knows the industry. He created an indie music label, Mage, at a young age, garnering over 3K subscribers on YouTube, and recruited MCs and producers worldwide. He learned what and what not to do as a young A&R, and I'm so honored to have him as a co-founder and also my brother. Next is where I come in. I'm a multifaceted artist myself, studying film and entrepreneurship at Northwestern University. I've shot at the NAACP convention, and I was an accepted intern at the 2020 Cannes Film Festival. As you can see, Brandon and I are both young artists, and we know artists. And that is why we have came together to create a platform that is literally empowering artists to exceed the vision of their future self. And we've already done this with 17 artists that represent music, visual arts, and fashion. And what we've done for these artists to add value is create content, curate content, and collaborate with it. So our business model starts with a subscription model. What we're so excited about is that our artists see value in creating, curating, and collaborating content that they're willing to pay $9.99 a month, and that's our monthly reoccurring revenue. We validated this. In addition, we have licensing and royalty opportunities with the artists, which they're also willing to provide licensing and royalty of the work that they're producing. And that's allowing us to create, curate, and collaborate content, which creates eyeballs and drives social engagement. This is extremely valuable to our third piece of revenue, which is partnership revenue. And that is our Project Filo business model. So here are our 17 artists, by artists, for artists, in music, visual arts, ranging from film, photography, animation, graphic design, painting, and fashion. So let me show you one of these artists, Project Filo musician, Reno Shakur. Reno joined us in 2019, and since then, we've only added value. He's had access to press, he's won freestyle challenges, and we secured high-end features for him. And most importantly, he said himself, he's very satisfied. The content that we create and curate for him is invaluable. It allows for him to focus on his art while we make the content. He's been able to collaborate with Project Filo graphic designers and musicians, and most importantly, he's also willing to pay the $9.99. There are millions of Renos out there that our platform will only empower and advocate for. So Project Filo is empowering artists to exceed the vision of their future self. Like with Reno and our 16 other artists, this is what we call a Project Filo cohort. With this cohort, we've been creating, curating, and collaborating with these artists, and record labels spend up to $700,000 on promotion, and we're achieving equivalent results without taking huge sums out of artist contracts. We've already shown that we're adding value, and our business model is currently attracting talented artist managers and journalists, and it's really exciting because it's aligning with our ethos of inclusion to attract diverse talent. We validated to what we refer to as the power of 17. 17 artists just like Reno. When you bring the collection of artists together, there's power in that. Almost 95,000 followers on Instagram, almost 17K followers on Twitter collectively. The stats are endless. That's the power of the cohort for these up-and-coming artists and the millions of other artists out there just like Reno. So this doesn't work if we don't add value to the artist. By creating content, curating, and collaborating with it, that's what creates value. You have to understand first before you're understood. How do we know this? Again, we measured everything by the artist and for the artist, and we've gotten feedback just like this. As you can see here from Miza, this article is so sincere, which is rare. I've never had a write-up like that. Definitely lifted me up. You have to understand first before you're understood. And we validated that with our value proposition, and we're providing to get to the past revenue, just like we described before. There's power in numbers. We've taken talented 17 artists already with a future, a name, and a path that we've empowered and validated this. We've done this already with our first cohort of 17. And we have reason to believe we're only going to generate thousands of more just like this, as you can see on the screen. We're coming after the billion-dollar creative industries. That's Project Filo. We're doing it one cohort at a time, one artist at a time. Thank you very much.